right, so Trump is now backing Ukraine in the war with Russia. This is what he says in this tweet. This is a truth post that he put out there, and then the White House retweeted it. After getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine-Russia military and economic situation, and after seeing the economic trouble it is causing Russia, I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, the original borders from where this war started is very much an option. Why not? Russia has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, a war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. Remember Afghanistan? This is not distinguishing Russia. In fact, it is very much making them look like a paper tiger. When the people living in Moscow and all of the great cities, towns, and districts all throughout Russia find out what is really going on with this war, the fact that it's almost impossible for them to get gasoline through the long lines that are being formed and all other things that are taking place in their war economy, where most of their money is being spent on fighting Ukraine, which has great spirit and only getting better. Ukraine would be able to take back their country in its original form, and who knows, maybe even go further than that. Putin and Russia are in big economic trouble, and this is the time for Ukraine to act. In any event, I wish both countries well. We will continue to supply weapons to NATO for NATO to do what they want with them. Good luck to all. So he's officially now backing Ukraine, because he's even saying, like, we're going to continue to supply weapons to NATO. And then obviously NATO is giving the weapons to Ukraine. He even says, like, with the help of the European Union, they're in a position to fight. And he says, with time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, and the United States is NATO, then he's saying the original borders can be like, Ukraine can actually fight and get those borders back. And also, Ukraine can potentially even take more than that, is what he's saying. How is this America first? Somebody explain whatever happened to America first. So now Trump, now that he realizes Putin is going to do what Putin wants to do, he now is backpedaling on this. Now that he realizes Putin's not going to listen to him, Putin's doing what he wants, Putin's not getting what he wants out of Trump. So Trump instead is like, all right, then I'm backing Ukraine, rather than doing what Americans, the hard decisions Americans wanted, which was end that war, end our support for that war, not only understand the historical expansion of NATO that caused this war, but maybe roll it back and figure this solution out so that we can actually focus on America. And instead, he's pointing at Russia saying, well, Russia's war economy, Russia is spending all their money on war. What the hell are we doing? I mean, that's what we're doing. That's why Americans are mad. We're doing all of this foreign policy. And what are we doing to make America great again? Let's listen to this. Let's see what Trump has to say for himself.
It's been a terrible war, should have ended. And Russia should have stopped it. But they've been 3.5 years and they've gotten not so far. So we'll see what happens. But the other side can fight too. And they've proven that. Maybe it could be that Russia's a paper tiger. I don't know what they are, but 3.5 years of fighting and killing everybody, of killing 7,000 people a week for nothing, So it's a very sad situation, but most of you have seen the recent statement I put out a little while ago, and I'm glad you got it. But I feel that way. I really do feel that way. Let them get their land back.
Yep.
So we'll see how it all works out.
And we're going to be supplying them, because he says we're giving a bunch of weapons to NATO, and NATO's going to be giving weapons to Ukraine. So basically, we got nothing different from what Joe Biden was doing. Nothing is different. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. With Israel, nothing has changed. With Russia, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. We even have censorship. We have an administration that is pressuring companies to censor people. I mean, we literally are getting... We're not getting the Epstein files. We're being told that that's a conspiracy theorist. That sounds a lot like Hunter Biden's laptop coming from Democrats. We're not getting anything different. We're getting all of the same, two cheeks of the same ass. And to make matters worse, this just comes on the heels of Trump just a few days ago saying, we're going to march our asses back into Afghanistan in order to take Bagram Air Base.
We're going to keep Bagram, the big air base, one of the biggest air bases in the world. We gave it to them for nothing. We're trying to get it back, by the way. Okay, that could be a little breaking news. We're trying to get it back because they need things from us. We want that base back. But one of the reasons we want the base is, as you know, it's an hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. So a lot of things are happening.
Right, okay. So we need the base back because it's close to where China makes nuclear weapons because we want to mean mug China now because we want war with China. They're the new Russia that we're going to be going into a Cold War and potentially proxy wars, although China's likely not going to go for it. You know, China's not engaging the same way that Russia did during the Cold War. China's kind of ignoring us, but he's going to do everything he can to try to bait China. So let's keep a military base really close to on China's border. Let's keep a military base on China's border and see how China takes that. Just like, well, why do we want to do that? We want to antagonize China in the same exact way that we antagonized Russia. And that worked. Putting bases all on Russia's border worked. It baited him. It worked. So maybe we could do the same thing to China. That's what he's essentially saying. So what Trump was mad about when Biden got out of Afghanistan was he wanted to keep Bagram Air Base and 4,000 troops in Afghanistan. He was never going to fully pull us out of Afghanistan, just like he never pulled us really out of Syria. We stuck around in Syria with enough troops to guard the oil. So we're just stealing resources, stealing land, and he wants to keep land in Afghanistan. So there's never going to be ending these wars that are the forever wars that everybody wants to end. But nonetheless, Trump believes he has ended some wars. I don't know which wars he's talking about, but he believes he's ended wars, and he believes that he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize.
Wars is action. Now, after ending all of these wars and also earlier negotiating the Abraham Accords, which is a very big thing for which our country received no credit, never receives credit. Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements. But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with the mothers and fathers, because millions of people are no longer being killed in endless and unglorious wars.
I mean, getting Azerbaijan and Armenia to sign a peace agreement, sure, step forward. But a step back is us going back into Afghanistan. In fact, that's way more than a step back. That's an entire game board back. And now backing Ukraine is another entire game board back. What are we even doing? What happened to America first? Are conservatives actually going for this now? Has the administration been able to gaslight America first conservatives into believing that it is in our best interest as Americans to take Gaza for Israel, to manage Gaza for Israel? That's what Israel wants, is for us to march our troops in and manage the place. You know why Israel wants that? Because they know the Palestinians will start fighting Americans, because the Palestinians aren't going to tolerate anybody on their soil. It's not just Jews. That's what Jews want to believe, right? That's what the Israelis are trying to claim, is that they're just anti-Semites. They're just anti-Semites. They just hate Jews. No, the Palestinians will fight anybody who's on their land. They don't care if they're Jewish or not. So they they know this. The Israelis know this. So they're thinking, all right, send the Americans. And then when the Americans start getting bombed, then Americans will start hating Palestinians rather than sympathizing with them. When we send NATO troops in there, then Europeans start getting killed, and the European population will start turning on the Palestinians rather than supporting the Palestinians. Totally, a brilliant plan on the point of Israel, and we're absolute idiots if we actually fall for it. But here we are, talking about managing and administrating Gaza. We're talking about taking Canada, taking Greenland, invading Venezuela, going back into Afghanistan, supporting Ukraine. This is the worst case scenario. I mean, this is literally worst case scenario. How is this at all America first? I hope people really, really wake up to this, and I hope that the midterms really give a slapping. I mean, honestly, just like a complete slapping to the conservatives that are running this government for turning on the American people so obviously and so blatantly. Thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show, which you can catch Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. It is free for you to watch. Again, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, KimIversonShow.com. See you there.